I remember the first time I realized that this was happening with infants and children. And I remember looking at a friend of mine and saying, how? I couldn't wrap my head around it. How is this happening to infants and children? And she looked at me and she said, Sarah, think about it. And my heart sank because I realized in that moment that child suddenly had no idea what was happening to them, as they were literally facing something that they had no control or even ability to say stop. I'm a mother of children myself, and thinking that this is impossible. The Hope Box launched in 2014. I began to look at things, and then as I began to look at statistics, I realized quickly the biggest percentage that they were putting out of abandoned, neglected, and abused is ages 3 to 0. And this is awful to talk about, but if we're going to change things, we have to start talking about the hard conversations. I didn't realize how much a mother went through under the circumstances of when she's being trafficked till I had the opportunity to interview somebody that was involved in that world very deeply. And I remember asking her, as she began to tell me the children that were raped in the room, asking her, how did you mentally get through this? What was the process? What was happening? And she said, Sarah, you just survive. The amount of abuse, emotionally, physically, the amount of domestic violence happening around you, you know, because that girl that just sat next to you just got shot in the head, and that baby being raped over there, you know that you're just going to survive. So sometimes it's about getting to the next hit, it's about getting to the next moment, just surviving, because you're not just going to walk away. You're not going to walk away after seeing what you've seen. It's not going to happen. And so you get in this place of, I just need to get through this because I'm not sure how to get out of this. This is a major issue, and the fact that they're targeting infants and children should just put chills down your spine. But we can't live in fear anymore, and it's one of the few areas that the criminals work together. Whether it's gangs, cartel, it doesn't matter. The criminals work together, and this is an area where we need to work together as communities to say, no, we're not going to stand for this anymore. Sex trafficking is not going down in numbers. We have more criminals, more girls being sold, more children being sold. No longer are they even having the girls have abortions, now they're selling the infant. So this issue is only getting bigger, and it's not just sex trafficking. It all comes together with the issue of incest, domestic violence. If we solve these issues, then we can come together and create more of a whole community. We can stop some of the stuff from continuing to happen. And when you get into sex trafficking, they found that they're no longer having these girls have abortions. Now she's worth more because she's pregnant. So now they have a product that they're not only selling here, they can sell multiple products, and they're creating their own market. Children and babies don't last very long in that industry. In Atlanta, where we have the international airport, we have the train system, we have the ports, still have the underground stuff going on in between Alabama and Georgia in the middle of rural areas within Atlanta. There's so many ways that somebody could get anybody in and out of this city and nobody would even know that they were here. You hear this word abandonment, but you don't realize how much that goes into that word abandonment. You know, when I talk about all the ways children are abandoned, we think because we live in the United States this isn't happening. This is happening at a scale, but it's just not seen. It's almost worse here. So the Hope Box has come along this side now, and we have partnered now with the state. We've amended the Safe Haven law in 2017. We are the safe haven for the state, so we do all the training for the fire stations, police, and hospitals, and we're able to help with the policies and procedures and to come up with the best practices. We're finding all the time this issue is getting out of control. Border babies are not babies on the border. That's just the legal term. They're actually babies left in hospitals. And they're free to go, but they literally have nowhere to go. I got a call from a social worker, and I came in to the hospital, and she said, Sarah, DFACS has put you on the case. They've told me they cannot place this child. I need help placing this child. She's been here for 5 months. And my heart sank thinking about a child that sat in a hospital for 5 months without parents. And here she was, and she had some special needs and some issues, so she really needed a particular family. And I remember the staff telling me they've expected her to die. I was able to contact an agency that had a family, a foster to adopt agency, and they had a family that was trained in these issues for this infant. I remember getting a letter from them about a year and a half later when they told me, we want you to know that this sweet baby has passed away, but she died with a family that loved her. I remember thinking, that's what it's about. It's about, she would have had no one to remember her, and she was able to be loved in this last year of her life. I'm just a mom. I have never ever realized what an issue this is till it's shown up on my front doorstep, and I found out as it unraveled how big this thing is within our country. The Hope Box is a 501c3 that is privately funded. We are a nonprofit. We need people with platforms to be able to get behind us, to be a voice against this issue with children in our country. We need financial donations, monthly donors. We are one of the few organizations that fight and speak up against children being trafficked. We are one of the few talking about hospitals and the support that they need. We are the safe haven for the state of Georgia. If you are a mother and you need to enact the safe haven law, it is there so you can do it anonymously, no questions asked. And I can't do any of this without your support. If you'd like to contact the Hope Box, go to our website, thehopebox.org. If you need help and you need to contact the Hope Box, we have a hotline on our website you can call. You can call our main line. You can at any point, it's 24 hours a day, no questions asked. We will be able to give you the resources that you need and the support that you need to make an educated decision. We're educating women so that they can make a decision, so that they can live with the decision that they make. Because if you don't know all your options, you tend to do things out of fear.